Dianna Russini, Mother of the Year, the Athletics senior NFL insider, co-host of the Athletic Scoop City podcast with Chase Daniel. And Dianna, kind enough to join us, having a busy morning in the household. So thank you for joining us.
Mother of the Year, I am so not. I am so not. Yesterday was a day, Dan. News never stops and you can't really predict it. So you gotta be quick on your feet dealing with these little kids when stuff's going on. And we're potty training right now. So I'm not sure if it was some sort of symbolism yesterday, but let's just say Mikey's having a hard time with it. So we were dealing with that in the middle of taking some calls, trying to piece together what happened in New York with the Jets. So you can use your imagination and imagine what it was I was dealing with yesterday. It was awesome. It was quite a day in the Rossini household.
Shefty doesn't have to deal with that, or Woj never had to deal with that, but you're dealing with potty training. So we appreciate the double duty. Did you say, how about that?
That was clever.
That's crushed.
Double duty.
Thank you.
That's all you do.
Thank you. All right. Walk me through this. How did we get to this point where the Jets do something they haven't done since the mid-'70s, and that's fire their coach mid-season? Not even mid-season.
Not even exactly to early October we're at. And I think that's why there was a feeling of shock yesterday from everyone, the fan base, people in the building, and obviously people following and covering this team. And it's shocking, not because Robert Saleh was fired. I don't think anyone was stunned by that. It's just, of course, the timing of when this went down, as they lose to the Denver Broncos and lose to the Minnesota Vikings in London. So the way it was explained to me after collecting some information yesterday was, Woody got back to the States on Monday, made a few calls to people with the Jets organization, didn't tell anyone that this is what he was definitely doing, but definitely came across annoyed, bothered, angry. And I had heard that he had felt that after the Broncos loss at MetLife Stadium in the rain when they lost to Bo Nix, that he was not a happy owner after that. So it didn't help that they had that long flight home after losing to Sam Darnold and the Vikings. So the conversations he had with people in the Jets front office, as well as Aaron Rodgers, he did not tell them, from what I understand, I am coming into the office tomorrow to fire Robert Saleh. He just told them that he was considering it. So Tuesday morning, he showed up into the office and had that direct conversation with Saleh that he's going to be moving on from him. And Saleh attempted to lay out a bit of a case. I've got a top 5 defense. I've got a top 5 special teams unit right now. We could potentially be first in the division, depending on what we do on Monday night. And Woody Johnson just believes that if they don't make this change right now, that this entire season is going down the drain.
But I don't know if Robert Saleh was willing to demote Nathaniel Hackett, his offensive coordinator, as a way of saying, I'll make changes. Keep me here. My defense is great. Let's change the offense. Do you think that was on the table?
Yeah, I do. I don't think he ever had any plans of firing Nathaniel Hackett. I think it was to move Todd Downing into a bigger role. He's the quarterback's coach. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator in Tennessee with the Titans there. Keith Carter is the offensive line coach in New York. Tony Dews is the running back coach. And the reason why I named these guys, they were all together in Tennessee. So you have a lot of the same kind of mindset, familiarity with one another. But then you have Nathaniel Hackett in there overseeing all of it. And so I think the thought from Saleh's side to it, and even perhaps the rest of the coaching staff, which we will see over the next few hours if they decide to do what I think Saleh wanted to do here, which was promote Todd Downing to have a little bit more offensive responsibility, play calling, and pull Nathaniel Hackett back. The question we don't know, though, is Aaron Rodgers willing to do that? Because I have never seen a quarterback in the time I've covered football have the deep loyalty that he does to Nathaniel Hackett as much as Aaron Rodgers does. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is seeing what we're seeing, though? And, that's something that I'm curious over, because there's no way Aaron Rodgers thinks that this is good enough.
What's Aaron Rodgers' role in all of this? Saleh being fired, the offense struggling, Nathaniel Hackett keeping his job. Feels like he's got, is it total autonomy here, Dianna?
Yeah, yeah. This is Aaron Rodgers' ship. This is his boat. Everyone's on it. He's riding this thing. He's the captain of the ship. Joe Douglas is the general manager. Robert Saleh was the head coach. Jeff Ulbrich is now the interim. But everything runs through Aaron. And I know I mentioned that I don't think Woody asked Aaron Rodgers if he was okay if he fired Robert Saleh. I think Woody did it on his own without Rodgers saying yes or no. And I do actually believe Saleh and Rodgers have a decent relationship. I don't think it's thriving, and I don't think they're BFF and golfing together. I don't think it's like that, but I think they were fine with one another. I think Rodgers liked the fact that Saleh was willing to listen to him and do the things he wanted to do. Not everything. I don't think Saleh did everything Rodgers told him to do, but he certainly had a very open door policy with letting Rodgers come in his office and be part of a lot of the decision making. Even in the offseason with free agents and their draft, Rodgers was part of everything. And that's the way they want it. That is the way Woody Johnson wants it to be. He wants Aaron Rodgers to have all the say because they believe that he's the one that has won before and he knows how to do it.
Dianna Russini from The Athletic, their senior NFL insider. I'm wondering how attractive this job is going to be. And I never thought I would say this, that it's less attractive because Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, Dianna.
And no, it is a great thought because I've been digging on that, since Saleh was fired yesterday. All right, well, what's the long-term plan here now? What do they want to do? Let's say, look, I hope Jeff Ulbrich steps in here and turns this thing around for them. I hope he's the guy. I hope they go, oh my gosh, he was here the whole time. We just didn't see it. But we know how this works. It's probably not going to be the case. I also think he has a really uphill battle here to try to sort out how he wants to do it and be part of this defense that's been remarkable, but also fix the offense because we all know that's the problem. Rodgers hasn't been great. He's had little snippets that we've seen. So who wants to work for Woody Johnson? That's going to be the question. And, the names that are floating around are of course, the coaches who are available and highly respected around the league, like a Bill Belichick, like a Mike Vrabel. But these are two head coaches, in my opinion, or candidates that are going to have choices. So they're going to probably want to work for an owner that they believe knows what they're doing. And historically, I think we have a lot of questions about what Woody Johnson's doing. So I think we should probably put to bed the Bill Belichick to the New York Jets conversation. I think it's a fun idea. I think it's sometimes obviously with knowing the way it ended with Bill Belichick in New York. But Bill Belichick wants to work for a really good owner, and I don't believe that he thinks Woody Johnson is.
Are the Giants in a better situation than the Jets are?
I was thinking about that this morning. I live in the same neighborhood as Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. And I always hope I run into them at the coffee shop because I've seen them there before. And I was just thinking, man, they must be sitting here like, God, this is great. Like no one's looking at us. We won in remarkable fashion. Daboll's coaching his butt off. Daniel Jones looks spectacular. I don't know what world we're in, but good for the New York Giants right now. I do appreciate, I know Saleh and Daboll have a really great relationship. They talk a lot. And look, there's no way Brian Daboll's not looking at the situation going, this could have been me this week. If they lose to Seattle, and look, I don't think Mara is going to move as fast as we see Woody move on a firing, but I don't think anyone in New York and the Giants organizations feels comfortable. Like no one's sitting there going, we're coming back next year. Not yet. But obviously getting a win, being the winners of New York for right now, it's got to feel good.
Do you think there'll be another opening this season or another firing?
Across the NFL?
Yeah, during the season.
Oh, yeah. There'll be. Because, Dan, you know how this works. Once a team sees one go down, it's like, whoop, well, let's open up the floodgates. Like someone's like, it's like kind of like, it also plants the seed too of, oh, yeah. I can fire people during the year. So I think we're just getting started. It's just early, which is why, it is it is hard to have that conversation of, oh, what are they thinking for next already? Because this is early. I haven't covered a firing of a head coach this early in the season in a very long time.
Mother of the Year, Dianna Russini, the Athletic Senior NFL Insider, and the great podcast, The Athletic Scoop City, with our good buddy Chase Daniel. Thank you. Good to talk to you again, Dianna.
Dan, if I'm Mom of the Year, then the Jets are Super Bowl champs at this point.
Okay. All right.